You're listening to Mountain Heartbeat with Joe and Rosa Hopkins, proclaiming the gospel through word and through song.
Thank you for joining us this week on Mountain Heartbeat. I'm Joe Hopkins. This week, Rosa interviews writer and pro-life advocate Jamie Jeffries.
All right, thank you so much for joining Mountain Heartbeat. On today's program, we have writer, speaker, pro-life advocate Jamie Jeffries. Thank you for being on Mountain Heartbeat and welcome to our show.
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
Absolutely. And so, why don't you tell our listeners about how it is that you got involved in your pro-life work, and it actually started with a period of time where you dealt with infertility, and I know firsthand. I understand how difficult that is, but if you can just tell our listeners how that segged into becoming a pro-life advocate.
Absolutely. For me personally, I was living in Nashville, Tennessee, and working in the music industry, and that was going really well. And personally, I was struggling from infertility and was unable to get pregnant, and I was told it would never happen. And that caused this sort of pain within me when I realized how many women were getting abortions every day, and I knew that inside, like, I would die to have these children, and they were being killed. And so it just kind of sparked me to post some things on social media. I made a pro-life Twitter account and just started venting my frustration about all of these babies that I would just love to take and I couldn't save. And it just kind of snowballed into this online activism. I got a few hundred followers, and then 1,000 followers, and then 1,500, and so I just went with it and started posting these messages and hosting rallies, and I found this real fire inside of me to continue this fight for life, because I saw the need for it, and I felt like if I couldn't have my own baby, I could save babies. So I decided to put my music career on hold. I left Nashville and moved back to the Southwest, where I'm from, so that I could focus on advocacy and trying to save women and children.
Absolutely. And what are some of the ways that you go about doing that?
Well, I just had the privilege of launching a nonprofit organization called Let Life Live, and we're focusing on life from conception to natural death, education on abortion, suicide, post-abortive healing. And we have resources available for women in need, crisis pregnancy. We can get people who are struggling with suicide help and counseling near them. But we really focus on giving pro-life individuals the tools they need to be active in the fight for life. So if we have someone, say in Tennessee, who doesn't know what to do, but they want to be active in the pro-life movement, they can reach out to us and say, what do I do? How do I help? And we'll find them resources and organizations and groups in their location and connect them with the right people so that they can get involved and start doing work where they're at. So we really like to kind of recruit pro-lifers and give them the tools that they need. And we do work with churches as well as individuals. We're non-denominational, so it doesn't matter, what denomination you are. We'll get you connected with a crisis pregnancy center in your location. We'll help you register as a safe haven drop-off location where state law allows. So we can do these kinds of things for churches, and then they can shift and turn around and give those tools to their whole congregation. So we're really just trying to put the web of information and resources out there for people to join the fight for life.
Absolutely. And so you talk about education, about abortion, and what are some things that you would tell people, or what would you tell our listeners, or maybe things that people don't realize when it comes to abortion?
Well, I think it's really important that people know numbers, because it's really hard to believe that as many abortions happen as they do. There's one every 30 seconds in America. Planned Parenthood commits one every 90 seconds in America. So I think people don't realize that it happens all the time. So I really try to give people facts. here's, how many times it happens. Here's why it happens and where it happens and how it happens. Because I think those kinds of facts on abortion really shed light more than opinion. I can go and say abortion is wrong. I know that to be a truth, but somebody can interpret that as an opinion. But if I take some stats from the CDC that says, we have 323,000 plus committed by Planned Parenthood every year, that's just 1/3 of the abortions in the nation. These numbers are proof of what's happening, and so I think people just really need to see the facts, because then they're like, oh, this isn't what I thought it was. This isn't hard cases. There can't be that many women who are in, life, shattering situations of pregnancy. Abortion is a convenience. So the numbers really shed light to that. So I always go with the numbers first.
So what are some of the statistics? You said that every 30 seconds, which is heartbreaking and staggering, the sheer amount of bloodshed, but every 30 seconds there's an abortion. What are some of the other statistics that would shed light on what, where, how, who, all this sort of thing that goes on with abortion in our country?
Sure. Well, one of the really mind-blowing statistics is the 1%. We hear all of the time justifications for abortion: rape, incest, health and life of the mother. These hard cases make up less than 1% of all abortions in America. Mm-hmm. So when you look at the numbers, like I said before, these aren't world-shattering cases. These are convenience cases. When you look at the gestational age, it's legal in America to abort the day of birth, 40 weeks, for any reason. People think, oh, well, abortions happen, before 10 weeks. No, they don't. They happen late term, too, and these are viable, teen-capable children. So I think that, the gestational age is a really important statistic to remember, too, because most women don't even know they're pregnant until 6, 7, 8 weeks sometimes. And by that time, a fetus has obviously a beating heart and flowing blood through their veins and brainwaves forming and fingernails forming. So I think the gestational age statistic is really important because people need to realize that these are actual children in the womb being killed, not just clumps of cells like we're being told. Another statistic when it comes to abortion that really makes me upset is it goes back into the 1% of rape cases, because you see all of the time people use that as a justification. And I think it's important that people realize that a post-abortive woman is 6 times more likely to engage in the suicidal act. She's 6 times more likely to try and take her own life, 10 times more likely to try and engage in self-mutilation, like cutting, things like that. So when you put a rape victim who's been through trauma and an abortion woman who's been through trauma of abortion together, the statistic and odds of her going through depression, going through PTSD, committing suicide shoot up drastically.
Wow. Yeah, and I don't think that that's something. Usually, abortion is said that'll put an end to what has happened because of the rape, but actually it doesn't. It adds trauma onto trauma.
That's all the time we have this week for Mountain Heartbeat. You can join us again next week, same channel, same time, for the rest of this interview with Jamie Jeffries. You can find Jamie Jeffries' website at lettinglifelive.com. You can find Rosa's blog at gutsychristianity.com, or you can find us at joeandrosahopkins.com. If you'd like to hear this or other fine programming, we're at soundcloud.com/rosahopkins, and we're also on youtube.com/joeandrosahopkins, or you can just search for Joe and Rosa Hopkins on YouTube, and I'm sure you'd be able to find it there, along with plenty of really nice music and other fun stuff. Our SoundCloud account has some free music if you want to download that. And speaking of music, this week we're going to play a song by Virginia McJunkin. It's called The Beauty of It All. I certainly hope you enjoy it, and have a nice day.
As you're traveling down life's road, give your burdens to Jesus, He'll lighten your load. Live for Him and do your best, and when you're tired, He'll give you rest. Oh, to His hand and onward go, He'll give you a crown and a snow white robe in a beautiful home. Someday you'll dwell the beauty of it all, no human can tell. Take up His yoke and follow Him. He'll lead you out of bondage and sin. When you feel His breath upon your cheek, He'll make you strong when you are weak. Oh, to His hand and onward go, He'll give you a crown and a snow white robe in a beautiful home. Someday you'll dwell the beauty of it all, no human can tell. He'll take you home when this life's o'er. Trouble and trials will be no more. No more sorrow, no more pain. You'll go back to God from which you came. Oh, to His hand and onward go, He'll give you a crown and a snow white robe in a beautiful home. Someday you'll dwell the beauty of it all, no human can tell. The beauty of it all.